She turned my surprise trip into a girl's vacation. So I cancelled everything behind her back. My name's Ethan. I'm 27, and until recently, I was in a serious relationship with a woman named Riley. She's 26, works in marketing, and we'd been together for 2 years. Things between us used to feel easy, like we were perfectly in sync. But over the last few months, something had shifted. We were both busy with our careers, barely spending time together, and the connection that once felt so natural started to feel mechanical, like we were roommates pretending to be a couple. So I decided to do something about it. I thought maybe we just needed a break from the grind, a reset, something unforgettable. That's when I came up with the idea to surprise her with a beach vacation. Not just any trip though. I went all out. A private villa with an infinity pool overlooking the ocean, 3 bedrooms, private beach access, the kind of place that makes your jaw drop the moment you see it. Cost me close to $4,000. That was nearly all my savings. But I didn't care. I wanted to make something magical for us, something that would remind us what we were fighting for. I even booked her favorite spa package at a nearby resort, made dinner reservations at a seaside restaurant she had bookmarked months ago, and planned everything down to the small details. I told her about the surprise a couple weeks before we were supposed to go. Her face lit up. She threw her arms around me, called me amazing. I felt like I'd done something right. But then, she changed. Whenever I tried to talk about the trip, ask what she wanted to do first, or if she wanted to rent a car, she'd brush me off. "We'll figure it out when we get there," she'd say, avoiding the conversation completely. That wasn't like her. Riley loves planning. She thrives on itineraries and Pinterest boards. I ignored the red flags because I was too caught up in how proud I felt of the whole thing. But I should have listened to my gut. 2 nights before we were set to leave, we were sitting on the couch watching Netflix. She was on her iPad, I was scrolling through my phone. Then, her iPad dinged with a message. The screen lit up, and I caught a glimpse of the preview. Group chat name: Girls' Weekend. Froze. Girls' Weekend. I wasn't the type to invade someone's privacy, but my heart started racing. Riley got up to get a glass of water, leaving the iPad on the cushion. The screen hadn't gone dark. I wish I could say I hesitated. I didn't. I opened the chat. What I saw made my stomach twist. Weeks of messages between Riley and her 3 closest friends: Brooke, Tessa, and Kayla. Outfit plans. Photo angles for Instagram. Jokes about whose bedroom they were claiming in the villa. Discussions about who was bringing the speaker and who had the best beach playlist. I felt myself sinking further and further as I scrolled. And then I saw it. Brooke: Can't believe he still thinks this is a couple's trip. Riley: I know, right? He's gonna be so confused when we all show up, whatever. Free vacation. That sentence hit like a brick to the chest. Free vacation. That's what I was to her. A walking bank account. A way to fund a getaway with her friends. More messages followed, ones that made my blood run cold. Tessa: Is he still coming? Should we just ignore him if he does? Kayla: Elmo, Riley, you better find a way to ditch him. Riley: Haha, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. They were mocking me, planning around me, humiliating me in private while I worked my ass off to make this special for us. She came back from the kitchen, and I had already locked the iPad and set it aside. I stared at the TV pretending nothing had happened, but inside I was burning. First I wanted to scream, confront her, demand an explanation. But I didn't. I decided to wait. To see how far she'd carry this lie. I spent the next day pretending to be the same devoted boyfriend. I asked if she wanted to pack snacks, reminded her to charge her camera. She kissed me and told me I was the sweetest. Meanwhile, I was watching her squirm, her fingers glued to her phone, probably coordinating the lie with her friends. That night, while she slept beside me, I stared at the ceiling, my mind racing. Was I being dramatic? Should I just let it go and join the trip, maybe salvage something from the ashes? But the more I thought about it, the more I realized this wasn't about a vacation. This was about respect. And I had none left in her eyes. The next morning, after Riley left for yoga, I opened my laptop. My hands were shaking, but I logged into the booking site. I canceled everything: the villa, the spa, the restaurant. The cancellation policy meant I'd only get about 60% of my money back, but I didn't care anymore. Before canceling, I made sure to delete Riley's name from the reservation account. I changed the email, the password, everything. She wouldn't even know what had happened until it was too late. I sat there afterward, just numb. Was I being spiteful? Maybe. But I wasn't going to let myself be played like this. Used and laughed at behind my back like I was a clueless idiot. Later that day, Riley came back home beaming, talking about what to pack and how excited she was. I smiled and nodded, playing along while she gushed about a weekend that was never going to happen. And now here I am, the night before the trip that no longer exists. She's in the shower, humming to herself, packing a bag for a girl's getaway she thought I'd never catch wind of. Tomorrow, she and her friends are going to drive 3 hours to the coast. They'll show up at the villa expecting luxury, ocean views, and spa treatments. What they'll find instead is nothing. No keys, no room, no free vacation. Maybe Riley will call me, panicked and confused. Maybe she won't. Either way, I'm not sure I'll even answer. Because this relationship, it's already over. She just doesn't know it yet. I know some people will say I should have just talked to her. But I'm done being the only one communicating. The only one trying. The only one caring. I was never the boyfriend to her. I was just the bankroll. And the bank is officially closed. Date. I know a lot of you will want to know what happens when tomorrow comes. I'll update you once the fallout begins. For now, I'm going to sleep. For the first time in weeks, knowing I finally stood up for myself.